Hey there, all you internet dwellers. PTPOP here, and I'm just heading out for the morning. Going on the road for a photographic excursion. Gonna go to some places down here, so I get snap photographs. I bought a new camera a few months ago, and I haven't used it much, so I figured I'd try to get some use out of it. And so I'm just down the road. It's early in the morning. Well, it's not really early. It's like 10 minutes to 10 in the morning. And it is 65 degrees on this glorious day in the Icelandic world of Cleveland, Ohio. And I was thinking about this new, I can't say it because it'll get blocked, but there's a, I just tried to put it up there, and it, or some type of, I don't know, problem with me using the new Google video creator. I think it's called VER1 or something, or VER3. I'm not certain what it's called. And it's a new video platform that creates video, like stunning video, like video that you would never know that it wasn't video. This is the latest AI bot or monster that's out there that's creating video for everybody. And these videos are just amazing. And I've seen a few examples of them, and you would never know that it wasn't actually filmed with a camera. And it's so good it's scary. It makes you wonder if anything you see today on TV is real, whether it's Lester Holt on NBC News, or if it's let's see if I just went through a red light. I was yellow when I hit the intersection, so I think I'm okay. But we'll see what happens. If I don't see any cops. There's never any cops at that intersection. But it was a stale green light. I should have slowed down. But you know, is President Trump the President Trump we see on TV? Is he real, or is he Memorex? Is he real, or is he an AI bot? Was President Biden? I still think some of the President Bidens were fake. I think they were guys wearing rubber masks, because they've shown where he goes to rub his neck, and his neck is like this real flabby, rubbery thing. It's just weird. Everything is so weird now, and it's hard to tell what's real and what's not. And I guess what makes me think about it is this Tom Cruise movie, Mission Impossible. I don't know what it was called, The Final Takedown, or The Final Bullshit Show, or whatever the movie was titled. And it's basically Tom Cruise is trying to, they don't come out and call it AI, but there's this giant computer that's running the world. It's taking over the world's nuclear arsenal. It's going to blow, the computer's going to blow up the world by taking over China, the US, Russia, and the UK's nuclear arsenal, and just blow the hell out of each other. It's always a nuclear message. It's always a no nukes message and all these hokey movies. But anyway, it's basically Tom Cruise versus AI. And I'm thinking, well, how do we know anything is real? Everything seems to be so weird these days, doesn't it? Everything seems to be just freaking, just the strangest stuff. I mean, it's all so bizarre. The weather is strange. The people are strange. The prices going up are strange. Does anybody ever explain to us why? I just went and got gas in my car, and it was like $3.16 a gallon, which is cheap here in Ohio, you know, compared to LA where it's $8 a gallon. But has anybody explained to us like why I'm driving past the gas pumps, and just as I'm approaching the gas pump, it says $3.06 a gallon, and as I pull in, the electronic marquee goes to $3.16. How's it jump up 10 cents a gallon just as I'm pumping and jumping in or driving into the gas station? What's that all about? Nobody ever explains to us why the gas prices fluctuate so severely throughout the day. It just goes up and down and up and down and up and down. No one explains it to us, and none of us question it because we just got too many other things to think about. Is this AI? Is AI taking over the gas pumps? Is there some AI bot that says to the gas company, hey, traffic is high during this time of the day, let's jack the prices up, and then they drop the prices at night when no one's driving? Is it that kind of thing? Because I don't know if the kid inside the gas station is manually jerking around with some buttons. These kids in these gas stations don't seem to have the time to sit there and play with buttons and analyze gas prices. Nor do they seem to have the competence to do much more than tie their shoes and, you know, hand out a Slurpee. So what is all this? Why is everything so weird these days? Some of these are rhetorical questions, but if you thought about it, let me know. Today, like I go down here, the Shell station is $2.99 a gallon down here. It was $3.16 back there where I was. Why is there such a huge, now right here, here's the Sheets, $2.96 a gallon. This is a brand new Sheets. I didn't know this was here. $2.96 here. I was just at a Sheets. I just got gas at a Sheets on the other side of town, maybe 2 miles from here. 15 cents difference. Why is it so different between the two gas stations? Same company, same gas station. Is there a scientific reason behind the whole thing? Is there a scientific reason why someone on the east side of town pays less gas than someone on the west side of town? But this AI VER3 or whatever this new video creating software is, this AI software can create videos that are just amazing, just fascinating. And you know, it's $200 a month. $200 a month to make, I think you can make up to 3 8-second videos per day. And this guy in the Tahoe raced me down a hill, and now he can't seem to find the gas pedal. Anyway, oh, I got myself a Tahoe, an $80,000 vehicle, but I can't figure out how to find a gas pedal. No, sir, I can race down the hill real good, though, with my chaw on my cheek. Oh, man. And, you know, it's the weirdest thing. Everything is so weird. And I feel like it's the Terminator, where we're living in the end times, where the robots have taken over, and it's Terminator versus AI. But the Terminator is us. We're all Sarah Connor now. And we're trying to, you know, destroy the bot that's taking over the world. And I just don't understand anymore. They put all the fear into us about bird flu, the eggs are going up in price. Oh my God, the eggs are so expensive now. And everybody panics. Oh, you know, you can tell people that farting will kill you, and people will stop farting. They'll start putting corks in their asses. No, I better not fart. I'll kill my child with my farts. Lester Holt tonight on NBC. Farts are killing children. Put corks in your asses now. And everybody would run out to the hardware store and buy a bag of corks and start shoving corks up their ass. You know they would. People aren't too smart. People have a whole lot of stupid that they have yet to use. Oh, we better put corks in their ass, Papa. It's like, what the hell's happened to everybody? So today I decided to take some back roads. I was gonna drive to this park way east of me. But I don't know. I have to get on the freeway if I really want to get there in a good amount of time. I sometimes drive around, and if I see something that is interesting to take pictures of, I stop the car and take a picture of it. There's a guy behind me. Oh, Jesus. I don't know if you can see this guy. You probably can't see him. He's very interested in my back bumper. In the meantime, he's cracking his neck like this. He's going, he's doing all these weird fucking things. I don't understand. I don't understand people at all. We're on a road where it's 35 miles an hour, and this guy wants to do 70. Why isn't he on the freeway? So anyway, I'm taking this back road to check out some of the parks in this fine state of Ohio. See if I can find anything, maybe some eagles or something to take a picture of. I don't know what I'm gonna take a picture of. And I thought it'd be more relaxing to drive on the back roads, but instead, the director of My Truman Show here has decided to have the Chevy, this old late model Chevy, tailgating me and driving. Now he's picking his ear or something. But it's almost like we're in that movie Predator. Not Predator, I'm sorry. I got my Arnold movies mixed up. Stop it, Peter. It's Terminator. Get on the chopper. Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Terminator. What the heck is that? How many fitness places do we need in this country? Brand new fitness place over there called Liquitech or something. What the hell? Why do we need so many goddamn fitness places? Cleveland has, like, you can swing a cat and hit one of these little independently owned fitness places. Yet everybody here in this town is as big as a house. How is that possible? How is it possible that everybody here is fat and yet there's a fitness place everywhere? So anyway, I'm all over the road here today, so to speak, and I'm tired of this feeling like we're being attacked by the bots, we're being attacked by AI bots, and we're all Sarah Connor, and we're trying to save the world, we're trying to go back in time, and whatever that stuff is all about. And see, I don't mind AI, I really don't. I like it, because nobody would hire me to do what I wanted to do, and it was too expensive for me to hire an editor and a writer and all these fancy schmancy positions to make movies. Now I can just go into ChatGPT, I say write me a script, it writes me a script. I go into this software, you can actually put a multi-camera thing in Premiere Pro and it automatically edits it for you. You know, you can do all this stuff now, and it's putting a lot of people out of business, but it's giving me the freedom to do what I want to do. So I don't care, it's not putting me out of business. But of all of you schmucks that invested in a movie degree, I go to school to make movies, it's going to put you out of business. You'll be flat on your ass working at McDonald's pretty soon. But me, it's given me all kinds of opportunities. And I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. I got to be careful through this stretch here. I got pulled over here like 30 years ago, and the cop, granted it was 30 years ago, and the cop that pulled me over is probably dead by now. But it's they're very particular about how you drive through their town. To find white cops, and they pull you over regardless of the color of your skin here. So, now it's 25. You know, they get you here. They get you real good here. They go down to 25 miles an hour here because you're going through industrial park or something. I don't know. Advanced Auto Parts. Friendly Automotive. So I don't know what's going to happen, but robots and computers run everything. Oh, now I got a motorcycle guy in my back. Now I got some hothead on a motorcycle behind me. Everybody who rides a motorcycle, they all think they're like the next Hell's Angel or something. It's really sad to watch some of these skinny white guys on motorcycles who think they're all that in a bag of chips. I worked with a couple of Hell's Angels in a factory once, and they're nice to me, but I wouldn't mess with them. These are the kind of guys that you just don't want to mess with. But this guy, he's right behind me. Can you see him? He's right behind me. He's right in my window. And he's hell bent for leather, even though he's wearing a gay ass windbreaker. And he's wearing khakis. He's wearing khakis on a motorcycle. I guess the Hells Angels probably rejected him, but he's still a tough guy. Thank God he's turning. I'm a tough guy, and he's wearing khakis. Khakis and a windbreaker and a Harley or something. That's probably not a Harley. It's probably it's more than likely the Honda. Here's the cops. There's my copper. They come cruising. Black eyes like doll's eyes in their SUVs. He was speeding. It's 25 through here. Hey there, Mr. Ossifer. You're doing like 40 through a 25. Can I pull you over? Citizen's arrest? That would go over well, wouldn't it? Pardon me, sir. Do you have any weapons on you? I got a canine in the back and a Ruger in my hip. And I don't know what's, you know, gonna come of all this, but and what really made me think of this is like in this Tom Cruise movie, they had this big server room that was underground, that was water cooled. It was these giant servers sitting in a pool of water. I don't know about that one. Last I checked, most servers are allergic to water, but maybe they have water cooled server rooms that are underground in a tunnel somewhere where the government sits over them. And you know, I don't remember exactly, but they're running through the server room trying to shut down this monster computer that's taking over all of the nuclear weapons. And I'm thinking, is there something really like that? I know there's server farms out there. I know Google and YouTube and all those people have server farms that are out in the middle of God knows where. They're probably in the middle of Colorado, underground in a mountain somewhere. But these AI computers that they're writing down, they're quote, writing unquote, down everything we do. They're documenting every move we make. They're documenting me talking right now. They're documenting where I'm driving. They know where you are, what you're saying. My phone listens to me all the time. You know, there's things that pop up. You know, if I mention Gilligan's Island, the old TV show from the 60s, I'm sure enough within an hour there'll be a Gilligan's Island tribute video on YouTube. Everything you search for is documented. And, you know, if you commit a crime, the government or the police, law enforcement can get a warrant. I don't even know if they need a warrant anymore. And they can just pull up his search records on his phone, pull up his search records on his computer. And they'll find out who you've been talking to, what you've been doing. You know, you watch it all the time. This TV show we watch on A&E called The First 48. You know, it's usually, unfortunately, it's black on black crime, and they always get the kid that shot somebody. They get his phone, and they break into it, and they find out that he was talking to so-and-so just before they shot him, and there was this volatile text conversation. You know the story. So every move we make, everything we do is documented and manipulated, and it makes you wonder if anything's even real anymore. It really does. It almost, you know, but the only problem, like in the movie Terminator, she knew who the enemy was. I don't know who the enemy is. Even if I had a laser gun, or I had an M60, or I had a rocket launcher, I mean, who would we go after? I don't know who it would be. You know? I don't know who we would attack. You'd have to take out server farms, but they're all buried in concrete bunkers. It would have to be an inside job. If you want to take down a server farm, you'd have to have somebody that's like, we're going to take down the server farm now. And go to work one day like you're just going to go pack your lunch or go eat your lunch, and then you've got an ulterior motive behind going into the break room. Boy, this whole area has changed. Look at this. This is all different. I'm at Royalton and Broadview Road, and I haven't been down here in ages. And it's all gas stations and restaurants and grocery stores now. None of this was here before. I was gonna get a power drink, but I elected just to drink my coffee. I'm not real fond of coffee. And there's all these lots along here that are for sale, and they're just filled with trees. So there's these big commercial real estate signs saying, 2.3 acres, call this number if you want to buy it. And what they'll do is they'll rip down the trees, displace a bunch of animals that are living in there. Everybody will be bitching because there's fox and raccoons and coyotes living in their yard that used to live in that wooded area, and they'll put in something stupid like a damn there's always a landscaper crew you gotta dodge in these parts. Yeah, Bill, I got my tractor out, let's go cut this guy's lawn now. And they'll put in some gas station or some fitness center that nobody needs. It'll be out of business in 5 years, and meanwhile they displace all these animals, kill a bunch of trees for what? So some developer can make $1 million bucks. I don't understand it anymore. And everybody here has become a whore in this country. They'll do anything. They'll do anything if you pay them enough money. One of my neighbors, as I was leaving today, almost pulled right out in front of me from their driveway. Old guy. Nice guy. They're both very nice people. I'm like, dude, look out, look to your left, look to your, no, what, oh, yeah. That's the thing that sucks about getting old, man. I guess I'm not technically old yet, but I'm sure feeling it. And what sucks about, I'm going to change this up here, but talk about getting old. What sucks about getting old is that I lived a pretty good life. I didn't live a wild life. I wasn't out partying. I drank quite a bit when I was younger. But just, I lived a pretty good life. I ate 3 square meals a day. I didn't really overeat too much. I did for a little while, but I was never morbidly obese. I was never out smoking. I never smoked, I've never done hard drugs. The worst I did was I had a few bush lights a night. And now my body is just like, hey, Pete, you're getting old. Hello. Knock, knock, knock. This is your back calling. Now, I've had a bad back for 30 years. What the hell is that in the street? And, but now I've got, you just wake up with aches and pains as you get older that weren't there the night before. Pains that don't make any sense. Like my wrist, I have no idea what I did to my wrist. McDonald's now hiring all shifts up to $17 an hour. Text or apply online. That means they'll start you at 12 to 15. Unless you're a kid, who can live off of 17 bucks an hour? Not a single living soul in this country could make. Am I still on? I don't know, somebody just called me. Said potential spam. Usually when it says that, it is spam. So far, I have driven, I didn't reset my odometer, but I've probably driven like 10 miles. I'm not seeing anything today. But it's getting old thing. You younger people, will you just wait? I used to be just like that. I'd be all judgmental of old people. Still am. I still don't like old farts that drive. There's people that are old that shouldn't be driving. I don't want to give up my car. I might kill someone in the process, but damn it, I'm going to drive. It's the only freedom I got. I know lots of people like that. But, I don't know, it's the getting old thing, man. When you're young, you're going to make fun of all of us. You'll make fun of me. You won't listen to me because I'm old. I'm a whiny old bag of winds. One of you guys called me, or whatever you called me a couple of weeks ago. But you wait. It's no party, my friend. It all starts to fall apart. Everything starts to go south. And you have to make up your mind that you're just going to live with it and get through it. because that's the only choice you got, unless you want to blow out your brains. And I'm not going to do that. I am not suicidal. And I got to tell you, but it's no party. It's really not. Because in your mind, you still think you're 18. Now, I'm smart enough to know I can't run out and play football anymore or shoot baskets. I can shoot baskets, but I really can't do things like I used to do. But in your mind, you still think, oh man, look at that girl over there. She's so hot. Let's go talk to her. And then you're like, oh no, I'm married and I'm 60 years old and I don't have any money. So what would she want with me? You know, I have all this confidence now, but what am I going to do with it? Nobody cares. You know, an employer sees me and they go, oh, he's old. He'll probably be dead in 5 years. I don't know if we want to hire him. So here we are. We are in the fine town of Brecksville. And they love their speed limit here. You get problems with all parts of your body. And it's, you know, I've got a bad back, a few other things going on. My eyes are bad. And, I don't know. But what do you think of this AI thing? Because I like it. I have fun with it. I write things with it. I create thumbnails with it. It saves me a bunch of time in creating. There's a lot of fun things. There's the Brecksville Reservation. I just missed the Brecksville Reservation. Gosh damn it, Pete. What the hell are you doing chatting on this damn YouTube channel when you should be looking for the Brecksville Reservation? I was just over here. Actually, I lied. I was just over here last summer. I drove down here last summer because I had a gig in this really fancy community last summer where I played in somebody's party. Look at these mansions, freaking fucking 20,000 square foot homes. Who needs a house that big? Who? What are you gonna do with 20,000 square feet, even if you got 4 kids? Yeah. So, AI is taking over. People are definitely losing their jobs and are going to lose their jobs. I can see why they went on strike in Hollywood, because Hollywood doesn't need writers anymore. You can pop an idea into a computer, it'll give you the whole script. I've done it myself. Give the entire script, it'll give you a whole story arc, the whole thing, the beginning, the middle, the end, and you can go in and adjust it and tinker with it and make it your own. I've done it with photographs and thumbnails, and it's given me ideas for stories. I don't need to hire anybody. I just pay ChatGPT. What am I paying? Like $50 a month or something for that. And then I use CapCut. I use CapCut for all my special effects. I don't have to sit there for hours and put in, go into Premiere Pro, putting in little, I can't remember what you call it, those little diamonds where you plot out the path of a graphic. No, you just put it into CapCut and select the graphic you want, and it puts it in, puts the sound effect in, and within an hour you're done with the whole thing. Something that would have taken me hours to do, to navigate through Premiere Pro. And all the die-hard Premiere Pro, Adobe Suite people that did this manually are pissed because, oh, I heard one guy go, something that took me years to learn in college, and I've learned and perfected in real life in studios. Now somebody just goes into CapCut and they just do it. They just do what I did. They're putting me out of business. Well, sorry, dude. Cry, scream, shit, scream and cry all you want. You're out of work. And you're the same asshole that wouldn't hire me to do the things that I could do just like you do. I have absolutely no empathy for these assholes that wouldn't hire me. Whether it was Channel 5 here in Cleveland, WEWS, WEWS, or Channel 3, or any of the companies that wouldn't hire me because I don't have a degree in filmmaking. now I can do everything your fancy people do, and they don't have the degree in graphics. You don't need it. I'm telling you what, there's a Channel 3, the NBC affiliate here in Cleveland, is one of the most prominent news stations in the city of Cleveland. It's been around for, a million years. But these people, every night we watch the 6 o'clock news, we watch the 5 o'clock news and the 6 o'clock news. And this production staff cannot get their production right. Every night something goes wrong with the sound or the lighting or the graphics, and I can't figure out who they've got working behind the scenes on the board, who's running sound. These people don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. And the weather lady, Betsy Kling, she runs the whole show. She's the queen there. And she's very proud of her intelligence and her vocabulary. And, the only reason we used to watch Channel 3 was because of a sportscaster and news anchor named Jimmy Donovan. Amazing guy, wonderful guy. Been covering the Browns for 30 years, and he died last summer, or last fall, I think it was. It's really sad he died, because he was a really of an icon here in Cleveland. He kicked the bucket, and now we begrudgingly watch this station, and it's like they can't get anything. The production quality of this show is terrible. Canyon View Road. Who comes up with the names of streets? Who does this? Hey Bill, we gotta name that new street. We just displaced 1,000 deer, 40 raccoons, and a squirrel. What could we call this fine street to get people to want to live there? How about the pretty street? No, let's not call it the pretty street. Well, how about we call it Hilly Road? No. Are there any canyons in that? Are there any canyons on that road? No. Well, let's call it Canyon View Road then. Well, but there's no canyons there. Well, it doesn't matter. We'll call it Canyon View. There's a street I drove by the other day called like Lookout Mountain or something. Lookout Mountain Road. There's no mountains in this area, and there's no view from this street, but they named it that. They have entire staffs that sit down and come up with the names of these streets. I mean, this is pre-AI. Now all the developers who come up with these cute little towns can just go into ChatGPT and say, come up with a cute name for a street where white people will want to come and live. Okay, Squirrel Haven. That's it, Bill. Call it Squirrel Haven. And another thing, if you've never lived in the Midwest, or I don't know why they call Ohio the Midwest, because we're really the Northeast, but if you ever come here, or if you ever live here, you'll find out they're constantly working on all the roads here because the weather's so bad. The ice and the snow just destroy the road. So right now, I'm sitting on this road, and there's a crew laying asphalt down here. And for the life of me, I don't know why they don't do this at night. They did almost all the road work at night in Arizona. They had to because it was 118 degrees during the day. But why can't we here in Ohio do the road work at night? Just get some of those big giant spotlights. Give the guys like a whole carton of Marlboro Reds, some coffee and some beer, and just put them to work. But no, they do it day when everybody's trying to get to work. I want this guy's job, and that's a girl. That's a girl. Sorry, young lady. She's just holding a sign that says slow. How do I get that job? She's probably making $25 an hour with full benefits. The cop who's monitoring traffic, he's standing outside his car. He's got his elbow up on some guy's SUV, and they're having a good old talk. Two good old boys having a good old talk. I love Ohio. I do. I make fun of it a lot, but I enjoy being here. I enjoy the odd people. I enjoy the weather. I'm one of these odd people, I'm one of these weird and odd, crazy people, and I love these people. I love being from Ohio. I love being back where I belong. I love being around people that when they're wearing a Cleveland Guardians jersey, that they're really a Cleveland Guardians fan. or a Cleveland Browns fan, you know that they're totally into the Cleveland teams here. And because when I was in Arizona, there was a guy that walked around my neighborhood, and one day I saw him, he had a Cleveland Browns hat on. I go, "Oh, Cleveland Browns, man, oh, cool, you're from Cleveland?" He's like, "No, I just like to wear this hat." That's all he said, and he walked past me. Just a bunch of assholes out in Arizona. That's how I see it. I know I have friends that live out there now that just moved out there for a couple of different reasons, but they seem to be getting along well. I guess it's just how you look at it. So I'm all over the road today, guys. Just kind of wanted to talk, and I don't know. Now my Zontarski thing, I don't know if anybody watches Midnight Mutant Theater. If you're not familiar, I've got another channel called Midnight Mutant Theater where I make fun of old monster movies that are in the public domain. And this channel was inspired by monster movie horror TV show hosts that I watched when I was a little kid. And when I was really little, but I watched these guys from about the age of 3 until 18 when I went to college. There was a couple of guys named Big Chuck and Houlihan, and they would show monster movies like Godzilla or The Brain That Wouldn't Die, and all those really old movies. And there's monster movie show hosts like that all over the country. It's not just here in Cleveland, but Big Chuck and Houlihan were on, and then in the early 70s, there was this guy named the Ghoul, who was played by a gentleman by the name of Ron Sweet, who passed away a few years ago. And so Big Chuck and Houlihan were on Friday nights from 11:30 to like 1 in the morning. And my brother and I would grab my parents' little tiny, like 18-inch black and white TV sets. The only TV set we had in the house, it was a portable TV set. And we'd run, he'd take it. My brother's 8 years older than me, and he'd grab the TV set, he'd run upstairs, put it on, I don't know, the dresser in our bedroom. We shared a bedroom, and we'd watch these horror movies. And in between horror movies, they'd take a break, they'd play little comedy skits. And it was a lot of fun. It was something I looked forward to, like, as I got older, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I started going to school. My whole week, I look forward to Friday night to go home and watch Big Chuck and Houlihan. I couldn't wait. It was all I thought about. And I couldn't wait till my parents went to bed and we could watch Big Chuck and Houlihan, because they wouldn't stay up and watch it because the movies are terrible. And the humor was, the humor's pretty bad, but I still like it. And then there was a guy called the Ghoul who was on Saturday nights. He was on Channel 61, and he was originally out of Cleveland. I think he went to Detroit, and he'd wear this like crazy fright wig and had these glasses, and his character was based off of another Cleveland monster movie show host named Gallardi. And Gallardi did the same thing, but Gallardi was his humor was a little bit more, I guess you'd call it risque, or blue, they called it back in the day. So there were these 3 hosts, and then Saturday morning was Superhost. And Superhost was this guy, I think his name was Marty Evans, I think his name is Marty Evans. I don't know if he's still around, if he's still with us or not, but his show went off the air years ago, but he did the same thing. It was like in the middle of the day, from like noon to 2, he'd play Godzilla. He was really famous for doing Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, all those hokey monster movies, and he would do comedy skits and all that stuff. And he dressed up like Superman, and he was Superhost. So I always loved these shows. I just love these shows. There's a thing here they used to have called Gallardi Fest, where they would get all these guys together and they'd have them at tables. You could pay to talk to them and shake their hand and buy their books and all that stuff. And I've always been inspired by these guys. It's kind of really hokey, campy humor. And I started to think, I never once dreamed of having a show like that. Never. But then I found this place out in Hollywood, either Hollywood or Los Angeles. Oh, it's 6 dozen, but a place called Immortal Masks, and they make these really awesome monster masks where when you put it on, it's skin tight, and when you talk, your mouth moves with it, where most Halloween masks, your mouth doesn't move. And I forked over some serious cash for this mask. And I just love this mask. I can't wear it for more than about an hour, but I thought, well, what am I going to do with this stupid mask? I've got this mask. I wanted to make like a mockumentary using this mask, but I never did it. And the people that were going to work on it with me backed out, but that seems to be common. People get cold feet. So I just said, hey, why don't I make a little monster movie host thing with all of my software? And I set up a couple of cameras and set up my ScreenFlow software or OBS. I've also got a switcher where I can switch between cameras. And I just pull up public domain movies and comment on them. And it's all inspired by Big Chuck and Houlihan. And there was another guy named Little John who took the place of Houlihan in, I think, the 80s. I never liked Little John all that much. I don't just like him as a person, but I preferred Houlihan because I grew up with him. And then when Little John came on, I think I was in college, so I'd kind of outgrown the Big Chuck Houlihan thing. And how many massage places do we need to? There's the Massage Envy. How many of these massage places do we really need? So that's, if you see me doing the Zontarski thing, Zontarski was created and inspired by these old campy TV shows. And I got the name Zontarski because there was a movie called Zontar, Thing from Venus. And it was a horrible movie that they would play in Big Chuck and Houlihan. Even as a kid, I couldn't stand it. Every time they said, tonight, Zontar, Thing from Venus, I'm like, oh, no, not that movie. God, please, guys, don't play that movie. And it was like so annoying. And they also played this movie over and over again called The Monitors, which was kind of like a futuristic thing, I think, where these guys, which were the monitors, were like these robot men in England that would monitor everything. It was a horrible film. But they always played monster movies. They played Dracula and Frankenstein and The Bride of Frankenstein and all this stuff. Where am I now? I don't know. I'm someplace. I don't even know where I am. I guess keep driving east. That's the oh, I must be in Macedonia. Yeah, I'm in Macedonia. That's the Dunkin' Donuts where I met my friend Becky a couple years ago when she was in town. Becky, if you're watching. Hello. Oh my. So anyway, that's Zontarski. That's Midnight Mutant Theater. And this Friday, I'm going to be making fun of a movie called The Brain That Wouldn't Die. And this is one that they showed all the time at Big Chuck and Houlihan. And maybe it was The Ghoul. I don't remember which one, but it's a horrible movie. I don't understand how my parents lived. This is why they went to bed. Well, Dad was half in the bag anyway, 90% of the time on a Friday night. I don't know about Mom. She drank pretty heavily. But as kids, we just loved this. We just ate it up. And unfortunately, Big Chuck just passed away. His name was Chuck Shadowski. I think he died just about a year ago. Maybe not that, maybe 8 months ago. And it's really sad, but he was older. I think he was pushing 90 when he died. Maybe mid-80s. I don't know. I don't know anything about him as a guy, as a person, but as a monster movie host, I liked his shtick. He was funny, and his skits were funny, and it was funny and campy and all that stuff. And I gotta find some place to go here because I'm just driving and driving and driving. Now I'm in Macedonia. I was taking the back roads because I didn't want to be on the freeway today. Something told me to stay away from the freeways. I just didn't feel like dealing with all the traffic and the lunatics on the front. And there's lunatics here and there's lunatics out west. Here, lunatics are different. lunatics here, there's like one or two guys that are driving 100 miles an hour, and everyone else is doing pretty much the speed limit. Out there, everyone's doing 100 miles an hour, and there's one or two guys doing the speed limit. But the lunatics here, they make a lot of drastic moves and do a lot of crazy things that end up getting 10, 15 cars into an accident. I hear my Ohio accent. Something else coming up here. I am, I'm kind of all over the road because I'm just thinking of this stuff now as I'm driving. But I'm going to be interviewing a phenomenal artist, director, writer, movie producer, musician, brilliant woman, just a fascinating. You're gonna love this woman. Her name is Jean Marie Spicuzza, I think is how she tried to tell me how to say her name in Italian, and she is fascinating. This woman is fascinating, and I don't mean that from a romantic perspective, just as a person. Her energy, her passion, her vision, it's just intoxicating. It's just really something to listen to her talk about her vision and her viewpoint on artists and the corporate world and the businesses and the things she's working on. And I'm going to be interviewing her, I believe it's on June 6th. And I don't know when I'll have it produced because I'm going into the hospital shortly after that for an operation. There's a guy in front of me with a license plate that says L7Z. That's his whole license plate. Wonder what the significance of that is. L7Z. So, the Longwood Manor, what the hell is that? So watch out for that. I'm very excited about talking to her and hearing her story. You're going to love her story. You're just going to love her story. She's got a fascinating story. And I think you're going to really enjoy hearing where she's come from and where she's been and her journey on the way to becoming an artist. It's all very fascinating. So, well, guys, I'm going to bid you adieu today because I don't even know where I know where I'm at. I'm in Twinsburg, Ohio somehow. I'm way past where I was going to go. I was going to go to a place further east of here, but look at this. I've been in Twinsburg. I have not set foot in Twinsburg in probably 30 years, and it's all industrial now. Look at this. It's all factories. Who knew? It wasn't like this 30 years ago, but a lot happens in 30 years. So I'm going to hit the road here, trying to find some place to pull out my camera and take some pictures. And I hope you all have a great day. And talk to you later. Bye.